Making it to the next round of the competition of the National Investment Quiz 2024 is Accra Girls Senior High School. Agiz! Agiz! Agiz!
Ladies Division and Betty.
All right, how is the feeling like?
Very awesome.
How did you see the competition on stage? How was it up there?
It was actually tough, but oh my God, we made it.
Which part or which round of the competition did you say it tougher for you guys?
I would say the advisory part, since we couldn't project, and the riddles, it was the other skills were quick.
Topping the contest with 64 points and qualifying to the next round of the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 is St. Augustine's College. Absu!
Action!
Absu!
Action!
How was the feeling on stage? How was the competition for you?
The competition wasn't that tough because it was the early stages, but then by the grace of the Lord we were able to pull through. But then we know that more contests are more difficult contests are ahead, so we prepare more and better ourselves off. Thank you.
Which of the rounds did you find it more challenging for you guys?
For me, I'll say the third round. The presentation, it felt...
We are grateful unto you once again. We give you all the glory for the opportunity. We thank you for life. Thank you for all the schools that have moved on to the quarterfinals. This morning we pray for retentive memory. We pray for photography memory. We pray for strength. We pray for guidance for the quiz masters. We pray that nothing will go wrong. We give you all the glory. We give you all the praise. We thank you that it is done. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Round one. The feeling was different. It was a whole different feeling altogether. Being on stage, it's very difficult. I don't even know how to put it. It was very difficult, but we tried, and we are expecting to give more. We are not expecting to give more. We'll give more the next time, unless they kill God. Unless they kill God. So that's it.
All right. So in your next contest, what should we expect?
Our contestants makes it on stage. We would like to call on Presbyterian boys to sing their anthem as a form of respect. Please, let's give it up for them.
Christian training we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country and church. For Christian training we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of country. Oh, come along and join us. Oh, come join us. Happy studios are we.
Next is Wesley Grammar. Please, can you be upstanding so that you sing your anthem?
Washi imashi, washi imashi, imashi bang bang bang. Bless Washi, oh bless us now to achieve the victory. Washi imashi, washi imashi, imashi bang bang bang. Bless Washi, oh bless us now to achieve the victory.
Next is St. Hubert Seminary.
Arise and hunt for souls. St. Hubert Seminary, SHS, a home of excellence. Holistic human formation to
Suni Papa no Kwanyamesu Mosabini. If we bring country for one and union, Asokronik Chichinipa. More guesting. Yenada fupa ontuni Monica neighbor Tiena so Nachicha jeye Amaya fatanya miniche.
Thank you very much, everyone. Now we move on to the agenda for today. And before we start, I would like to introduce our quiz master. He is in the name of God in Nkunu. So say, good morning. So I would like to ask, what are your expectations for this particular contest?
Well, this contest promises to be a very cagey one, as we have 4 strong schools from St. Hubert Seminary. St. Hubert's. And the last school, certainly not the least school, St. Augustine's College. Please keep clapping, keep clapping. Contestants, you are welcome to this contest. Now, this is going to be a hot contest, but a very friendly contest as well. First clue, you get 5 points. Answer correctly on the second clue, you get 4 points. If you answer correctly on the third or any other clue, you get 3 points. Do you have any question before we start? Now pay attention, as questions will be read once. Unless I am certain that you didn't get the question, then I, using my own powers, can explain the question again or come again with the question. But originally or on default, the questions will be read once. Contestant, please test your microphone to check if they are working. I'm starting with Frisek. As you are testing, please introduce yourself.
I'm Samuel Shkuti.
Samuel, you are welcome.
Hello, Prince Cromwell.
Prince, you are also welcome. Wesley Grammar.
I'm Ameto.
Ahmed, Yours is quantum merit or quantum merit.
Quantum merit is a term mostly used in contracts in which the person is paid for the work done or the performance at that particular point in time.
Yes, I accept that. Quantum merit means what is due me. What is due me? So that is correct for 3 points. Wesley grammar, non est factum.
The one who signed the contract does not agree to have signed it. It means he's denying that he did not agree to the terms of the contract, that he was forced into it.
That is correct for 3 points. Non est factum means it is not my fault or it is not my cross-purpose mistake and a mutual mistake. Cross-purpose mistake and mutual mistake.
Mutual mistake is a kind of mistake whereby both parties are mistaken about some contractual fact. But with the cross-purpose mistake,
The mistake has to do with both parties having a fault with both the facts and they interchanged it instead of it being one way.
Instead of, come again.
They interchanged the fact or the mistake relating to the contract.
Come again with the first one, the cross purpose.
The cross purpose mistake. Maybe, for instance, there is a fact or there is
in a contract creates fundamental obligations in the contract, whilst a warranty creates minor obligations in the contract. And for a condition, you the party who has been deferred or being breached can repudiate the contract, but for a warranty you can only claim for damages.
That is correct for 3 points. Okay, let's move to economics. Now I'm going to give you some elasticity situations. You have to tell me the type of elasticity and what the coefficients I'll give you imply. Tell me the type of elasticity and what the coefficients imply. Okay. Precisely gone. A price elasticity of demand with a coefficient of absolute 1.8. A price elasticity of demand with a coefficient of absolute 1.8.
A price elasticity of demand with a numerical coefficient of 1.8 shows that the commodity is elastic, and the numerical coefficient for it is that the elasticity is greater than 1 but less than infinity. Fairly elastic.
Is that a final answer?
Yes, please.
Correct for 2 points. I'll explain later. Please clap for them. Wesley grammar. An income elasticity of with a coefficient of negative 1.2. An income elasticity with a coefficient of negative 1.2.
an income elasticity of coefficients negative 1.2 shows that the commodity is an inferior commodity and it is fairly elastic.
Price of 1 leads to a 1.8 or a more than. So when you are explaining the coefficient, use the coefficient to explain. Did you get it? Okay, so that's why I gave you 2 out of 3. Next set of questions. Now, demand pull inflation occurs when aggregate demand for goods and services outstrips aggregate supply. So several factors contribute to demand pull inflation. So if I mention your school, you tell me one factor that contributes to demand pull inflation and explain. Prosec.
An expansionary fiscal policy of the government. An expansionary fiscal policy states that the government will be spending more. So with the government spending more in case of less taxes or government budgeting surplus, it actually means that consumers or those who are working in that sector are going to get more money. So with them getting more money, it does means that the demand
helps ensure that the what's happening this morning? The client's interest is protected. Okay, they ensure that the client's interest is protected. So give me one standard and how the standard ensures that client's interests are protected. Precisely gone.
Okay, so investment professionals are supposed to exhibit a behavior of fairness, honesty, due diligence, and integrity. This is so because every single document or records of companies that are supposed to be given to those on which they are handling their own behalf, they should give it out. They should be fair. They should be honest. Any unscrupulous activity that is happening in the client's funds or portfolio should be made known to them, and they must.
Wesley Grammar, are you allowing any school to whip you today?
The battle still is the Lord's.
The battle is the Lord's. Presec Legon, how was the round?
In thy light we shall see light.
Okay, we move on to round 2. Now in the round 2, I'll read out a case, a very simple scenario to you, and I'll give you 4 possible answers. You have to listen and then tell me the answer that is correct. If you get it correct, we are waiting for the scores. If you get it correct, 3 points. If you get it wrong, 0. There will be no bonus in this round. There will be no bonus in this round. So this is still the National Investment Quiz. This is the first quarterfinal contest. We have Presec Legon, Wesley Grammar, St. Hubert Seminary, and St. Augustine's College. 2 schools will qualify to the semi-finals, and they will be the first school to qualify as they wait on the contestants from the other contest that will be hosting today. Okay, we head into round 2. We wait for the scores. Immediately I get the scores, I'll pronounce them. We begin from Presec Legon. Now, ABC Companies Board appointed Mrs. Johnson as company secretary based on her 3-year experience as a trainee secretary in another company. 2 months into her role, she signed several administrative documents binding the company. A board member is questioning her authority and qualification. What is the legal position? A. Her appointment is invalid as she needs professional help to specific individuals. Under the Act, what is the legal position? A. It is allowed as it's targeted to specific individuals. B. It is considered a public invitation and is prohibited for a private company. C. It is permitted as long as the number is within prescribed limits. And D. It is valid if the individuals are existing members of the company. B. That is correct for 3 points. That is correct for 3 points. Question for St. Augustine's. Now, Rose Limited is an investment company. Okay. Now, Rose Limited's liquidator has been managing the company's affairs for 3 months, being overly cautious given the historical performance. E. C is correct for 3 points. Wesley Grammar. Global Tech Corporation has significant export to Europe. Now, with receivables in euros, the company maintains a portion of its foreign exchange reserves but doesn't hedge its position. The risk manager argues that maintaining reserve is sufficient protection against currency risk. The CFO disagrees. What is the most comprehensive risk management approach? A. Maintaining reserves is sufficient as it provides immediate liquidity. B. A combination of reserves and hedging strategies would be more efficient as reserves alone may not protect against severe currency depreciation. B. B is correct for 3 points. Next set of questions. Presec. Central Bank of Westland has maintained interest rate at 4% despite rising inflation, arguing that inflation is purely cost push due to supply chain disruptions from recent natural disasters. However, data shows increasing consumer spending, growing money supply, and rapid wage growth in key sectors. The bank's monetary policy committee is divided on the nature of inflation. What is the most accurate assessment of this situation? A. The inflation is purely cost push due to supply disruptions. B. Natural disasters always lead to cost-push inflation. C. The economy is experiencing both demand pull and cost-push inflation, requiring a more comprehensive policy response. It affects luxury goods. B. Importers should absorb the cost increase. C. The inelastic demand for essential inputs creates a persistent cost-push inflationary cycle that could become structural without intervention. And D. This is purely a monetary phenomenon. C is correct for 3 points. St. Augustine's investment analyst Sarah notices that while headline inflation is 7%, bond yields have only increased by 4% over the past 4 years. She argues this represents an opportunity for fixed. A is not correct. Clap for them. Wesley Grammar, a street vendor, notices that when he reduced his roasted plantain by 20%, that is from 5 cedis to 4 cedis, his sales increased from 100 to 150 pieces daily. However, his total revenue appears unchanged. What does this scenario indicate about the price elasticity of his plantain? A. Perfectly elastic demand. B. Perfectly inelastic demand. C. Unitary elastic demand. And D. Relatively inelastic demand.
Perfectly inelastic demand.
That is not correct. Being violated most directly. A. Disclosure and transparency. B. Stakeholders should be able to freely communicate concerns about illegal practices without compromising their rights. C. Board responsibility for strategic guidance. And D. Protection of shareholder rights.
B.
B is correct for 3 points. The last question for this round. St. Augustine's. A major shareholder owning 40% of XYZ's company proposes a related party transaction that would benefit his other business interests. The board approves this without consulting other shareholders, arguing that standard approval processes don't apply since it's a strategic decision. What governance violation is most violated or is most evident? A. Lack of board independence. B. Insufficient disclosure. C. Improper management of conflict of interest in related party transactions. And D. Breach of board responsibilities.
C.
C is correct for 3 points, and that brings us to the end of round 2. We are going into round 3. Now, each school was given a case. You all have one general case that you worked on, and you are to provide your solution in the form of a presentation in which 3 judges will give an average score for each school. So if the presentations are ready, we'll begin from Presec Legon, if the presentations are ready. Okay, so contestants from Presec Legon, please take the stage. Please give it up to them as they climb up on stage. Please give it up to them. As they prepare, let's listen to the scores for round 2. The scores for round 2. At the end of round 2, Presec Legon has 26 points. Wesley Grammar, 19 points. St. Hubert's, 26 points. St. Augustine's, 29 points. Okay, Presec Legon, the stage is yours.
All right, so I want to start by asking a simple question. Please be honest. Show by hands how many of us want to have money. Just raise your hand. Yes, almost all of us want to have money. Plenty, yes. You want to buy a Cybertruck or a new phone. I need a new phone. I need an S24 Ultra. So if you know anybody who is donating, please just hit me up. Now, lust for money isn't inherently a bad thing, but it is this lust for money that has led Mr. Bedu to fall into the bear trap that is a Ponzi scheme. Now, you might be asking what a Ponzi scheme is, but don't worry. Today, this platform is for me to educate you on Ponzi schemes as well as to solve Mr. Bedu's problems. Now, imagine you and your friends' savings you keep with a teacher you trust so much, and he decides to invest it in something he has no idea about, and he loses almost 60% of it. How will you feel? All that trust and faith you've put in that teacher will be lost. You even want to take back the money that's left, wouldn't you? Now, let me explain what a Ponzi scheme is. A Ponzi scheme is simply an investment fraud where a scammer uses money gained from new investors to pay earlier investors. Basically, we are being Peter to pay Paul. So I'm a scammer. Kofi invests with me. Then Amma comes. I use Amma's money to pay Kofi. Then Kwame comes. I use Kwame's money to pay Amma. It's just a continuing cycle. When I have the money I need, I just run away with it. All of you, you've lost your money. Now, Ponzi schemes have so many negative effects. They cause investors to lose faith in the investment market, as well as they rob you of your money, your hard-earned money. That money you wanted to use to buy a new house or a new car or a new phone or a new shoe. Now, Ponzi schemes have been around for a while, but let me leave it to investment analysts Jethro to explain all about it to you, as well as to identify Mr. Bedu's problems.
Thank you. So, as my dear colleague said, I'm Jethro Arthur, representing the Presec Investment Advisory Team. So now we are here to talk about Mr. Bedu's problems. So Mr. Bedu, as a teacher who has been trusted with a lot of money, decided to invest in what we call a Ponzi scheme. Now, the problem here is not what he invested in, but the logic he had before investing. Now, we all know that Mr. Bedu here, as a result of his lack of proper risk mitigation strategies, was lacking financial information. He lacked financial knowledge, and that was an effect that led to him making such unwise decisions to go into a scheme that would yield very high returns over a short period of time. As a result of this, he fell into the trap and he lost a great proportion of all his money. So that brings us to his other problem. That is a loss of a huge chunk of his startup capital. And now he has even lost the trust of his students because they are the ones who trusted him with the money. And because of this, he needs to come up with better investment strategies so that he can rebuild the amount of money that he lost and still carry on the student's dream. So, unfortunately for Mr. Bedu, he's not the only person that has fallen for these schemes. A lot of Ghanaians have fallen victim to it. So that's how come we made our market analysis. Okay, so with our market analysis, we looked at market trends over the past 5 years. And we realized that about 50% of all of the investing Ghanaian population has fallen victim to these Ponzi schemes. And the 75% of this population is within the ages of 25 to 45 years, which Mr. Beidou falls in. Because as we all know, the people of such ages are looking forward to get as much money as they can to prepare for their retirement. But in this case, he's here for the students. Now, also to this figure, we know that the 50% of people occupies about 1.5 million people in the country who have invested and have lost all their money. Now, for Ponzi schemes, we know that the time frame that a Ponzi scheme usually takes is from 2 to 3 years, depending on how quickly they get their money. And because of that, you never know when they are truly going to leave. Now, most notable of these Ponzi schemes over the past 5 years are Men's Gold. And Men's Gold has led to the loss of over 1.6 million Ghana cedis, 1.6 billion Ghana cedis. As has DKM Microfinance also led to the loss of 770 million Ghana cedis. Now, this is very dangerous. And I know that a lot of you don't want to fall victim or join these people. And that is why I'm going to call on my colleague Ish to give you the financial analysis, enlighten you on the red flags of Ponzi schemes. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this stage of the presentation, we are coming to talk about red flags, but not the red flags of the infant spin boys, but the red flags of the Ponzi scheme. So the main selling point of the Ponzi scheme is to give us high returns in basically a lower amount of time, which is basically building castles in the air. Let's do some math. So you can feel free to take your pen and paper. So for the financial analysis, first of all, looking at the nature of the Ponzi scheme, we are taking a Ponzi scheme with a duration of about 2 years. And with the duration of about 2 years, Mr. Beidou's capital was 25,000 Ghana cedis. It's been 25,000 Ghana cedis. He lost about 60% of the amount he invested, which gives us 15,000. So we want to use a key financial metric, which is return on investment. So with return on investment, the formula is excess return on investment times 100%. His excess return will be the amount that you get on the investment. So usually Ponzi schemes have interest rates averaged at 30%. And with this interest rate, we find our returns monthly being 4,500 and our yearly returns being 54,000, which makes our excess return 39,000. So upon finding the return on investment, we end up getting 260%. Now here is our graph. For the benchmark ROI, or the return on investments of blue chip companies, it's 20%. And this Ponzi scheme is giving you a return of investment of 260%. Will you invest in it? Because it sounds so absurd and unrealistic. Also, when we try to find the debt to equity ratio, we had it to be not available because these Ponzi schemes cannot provide debt and equities. Now, Ponzi schemes are absurd, ridiculous, and investors should not try using Ponzi schemes. So, alternative solutions. First of all, mutual funds. What are mutual funds? Mutual funds refers to investment companies that are made up of the poolings of monies for all resources from shareholders to invest in a diversified portfolio of securities. So, for the first advantage of mutual funds, we have diversification, followed by professional management and high liquidity. And the cons is just the payment of management fees, since a professional fund manager will manage your account for you. Now we have time fixed deposits as the second solution. And for time fixed deposits, they are basically deposits accounts by banks or non-bank financial institutions which provide higher yield than savings accounts. But here is the catch. You will not be able to take your money until the maturity date has been elapsed. So after proposing these two solutions, we are picking a balanced mutual fund for Mr. Beidou. This is because we are picking a balanced mutual fund that predominantly invests in bonds. So it invests 80% in bonds and 20% in stocks. So I'll call upon my brother to bring about the implementation stages.
Okay, so with that being said, the second stage that we'll be going to is the IIP, which is the Investment Implementation Plan. Now, with the Investment Implementation Plan, there are procedures or stages, okay, that every investor or investment fund manager must go through in order for them to know the best investment that they must come up with. So the first one that we suggested was beginning with a conservative balanced fund with Fidelity Balanced Fund. All this is saying is that we propose the balanced fund. So in knowing exactly what it is, we are giving to him either Standard Chartered Bank or the Trust Bank. This is because we made an analysis of it that they're the best companies in Ghana right now who are giving about the balanced mutual fund. And secondly, too, is to gradually adjust asset classes, allocation as needed, either increasing or decreasing. Investing in mutual funds, okay, 20% stocks, 80% bonds. But then that's not only what you can invest in. You can also vary it. So if perchance you see very well that inflation is coming through, you see very well that your risk profile is going high or maybe it's decreasing, you can vary the amount to the percentage in these funds so that your returns will be guaranteed. And the third one.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. You will be scored later. Okay, so you may take your seats, and contestants, you may join me on stage. Contestants from Wesley Girls, please, the floor. I stand corrected. Wesley Grammar. The floor is yours. Please clap for them as they come and give us their wonderful presentation. Boss.
Good day. So my name is Francisca Fianco, and I am from Wesley Grammar School. And then I'm here with my team to present on the topic Ponzi schemes. So I'll be like, what is Ponzi schemes like? Seriously. So Ponzi schemes are fraudulent investments that promises unusually high returns with little risk. Imagine someone coming to tell you, everything by the end of a certain period or by the end of a certain number of years, you will get your money, and even if it is to reduce, you will get something. And then there is professional management. You have someone like a fund manager or a custodian managing your funds. There is liquidity. It will be easier for the security holder to be able to change his security into liquid cash, and then the potential for long-term growth. The cons of or the disadvantages of this diversified mutual fund was that the returns may fluctuate. It might not always be the same. So the year that you're expecting more returns, that is the year you get less returns. And then you would always constantly have to pay the people who manage your funds. I can't come and work for you for free. And then there's also the fixed income deposit account. That is, it has low risk, and then constantly after a certain number of years, you get your returns. And then the disadvantages of this is that imagine your mother is seriously sick, and then I need money. Then you tell me that I have to go and come back 7 years later. Like, how? So considering the ways of Mr. Badu regaining his students' confidence is that he must openly communicate everything he does with their money to them and their parents, and provide a regular update on the fund of the performance of the fund, and educate his students on responsible investment practices. Okay, so the financial analysis, you realize that with these things that we want him to invest into, his capital is always reserved, and then his risk is reduced. He always has security and stability, because keeping your money in the bank is currently the most safest way to keep money. And then at the end of doing all these things, he'll be able to rebuild his capital, the 25,000, or sorry, the remaining capital to up to 25,000 or even more than that, and then achieve an annual return of maybe estimatedly 7%. And then the risk associated with this was loss of principal and operational risk, and then credit risk. So alternative solutions: if he does not want to invest in the diversified mutual fund or keep his money in the fixed deposit account, he can go into government bonds or buy stocks or securities of a particular company, or invest in real estate, which is really paying now. So the recommended solution: we advise that he invests the 60% of the remaining investment into a collective investment scheme, allocates the remaining 40% into a fixed deposit account, and educates the student on much responsible investment. So before you will be able to do all this, he must still own an account, which will be opened by a broker, and then get a licensed bank, and then keep his money there. Then he has to review his performances with all these things, and then check whether they are working for him, and then adjust them. So there are ways of managing his risk. Realize that by diversifying or spreading his money across a certain number of securities, he'll be able to keep his money, and then conduct regular financial reviews. And then to be able to keep his reputation, he must constantly communicate and educate the students on whatever to do, and then engage them in decision making. So to conclude, by following these guidelines, Mr. Bedu can responsibly review the fund, minimize risk, and restore trust with the students and their parents, ensuring a brighter financial future for their entrepreneurial ventures. Lastly, by understanding the dangers of Ponzi schemes, investing in a safer option, and implementing risk management strategies, Mr. Bedu will be able to rebuild his fund responsibly and rebuild both the trust and confidence of his students and parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insightful presentation. Please, St. Hubert, the floor is yours. Clap for them as they come up stage.
Hello. Okay, so my name is Prince Intiamwa Sintim from St. Hubert's Seminary Senior High School. So, let's imagine you giving your money to your friend to keep for you for a period of time. But when it's time for you to go for the money, your friend tells you, oh, I've used the money up, I don't know where it is. How would you feel? And do you think you will ever give your money to your friend again? I don't think so. This brings us to the case where a group of students gather their money and give them to their teacher to keep, so that after graduation or after completion of school, they will take the money for a small entrepreneurial business. But this teacher, being a financial illiterate invest the money in Ponzi schemes. This brings us to the executive summary. So Ponzi schemes are fraudulent investment operations that promise high returns with little or no risk. The funds from new investors are used to pay returns to earlier investors, creating an illusion of profitability. They are highly unstable, unsustainable business models, since sooner than later new investors will slow down and ultimately lead to its collapse. This presentation will educate the public on features and dangers of Ponzi scheme, other safer investment options, and propose practical risk and management strategies to ensure safety and growth of investment. So I'm here to tell you other investment solutions that will help Mr. Badu so that he will regain his money or he will not fall into scam. So the problem identification. One, lack of investment knowledge. We saw that Mr. Badu lacked investment knowledge and he did not seek for more information on this Ponzi scheme. So Mr. Badu lacked more knowledge about investment. Two, financial loss through Ponzi schemes. Mr. Badu lost most of his money. The students has contributed and given to him. He lost most of them through Ponzi schemes since he did not know how they regulate and he did not also know that they are fraud. Third, damaged reputation and trust issues. Since Mr. Badu did these two things, the children lost reputation, trust and lost reputation in Mr. Badu since he did not enter into a good investment sector. The third slide. So what is a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is where new investors are capital of new investors are used to pay old ones. So when example A is an old investor and B is a new investor, they will accumulate the capital of B and use to pay A, since they do not enter into any investment or any purchase of securities. So Ponzi schemes use the pyramid scheme model. This model, I call it tell a friend to tell a friend model. So this Ponzi scheme starts with one person and they will tell you to, tell your friend that.
Hello, please wait, okay? We'll address the issue shortly.
Okay, so they'll tell you to tell a friend so that they can get more investors and use to pay old investors. Okay, example of Ponzi schemes in Ghana, the DKM microfinance and the men's good. Features of Ponzi scheme or red flags. One, guaranteed promise of high returns with little or no risk. So they tell you and make you believe that you get high returns on your investment, and they'll tell you that there is no risk involved with this investment. Two, a consistent flow of returns regardless of market conditions. So they will tell you that, it doesn't matter about how the market is going. It doesn't matter about how interest rate is. They will still give you your money even if there is bad market. Three, investments are not registered with the SEC. Four, sellers are not licensed to sell investment products. So with this, as I said, with this Ponzi scheme, they do not sell investment products. They just use new investors' capital to pay old investors. Five, investment strategies that are secret or described as too complex to explain. So with this Ponzi scheme, they will tell you that, we can't give you information if you want them. They cannot give you adequate information when you need it. The next slide, please. Safer alternative investment. So these are the safe places I think Mr. Badu should invest his money so that in case of anything, he may not lose it. The first one is fixed account. A fixed account is a deposit made at guarantee interest rate over a fixed term. So with this, with this fixed deposit account, you open a deposit account and you invest the money or you keep the money so that at a period you get a fixed rate of interest on it. The pros. guaranteed interest rate. So with this, there is a fixed interest so that at the end, for example, if 3 months, you get 10% on your money invested. At the end of the 3 months, you know that you are going for your principal and your money invested. The second one is funds are mostly insured. So with fixed deposit account, they insure funds that are brought in by customers. Cons, respectively low returns. There is low returns when it comes to fixed deposit accounts and early withdrawal incur penalties. So when you are going to withdraw them before the time, they will sometimes reduce the interest rate or something. Mutual fund. Mutual fund is a pool of money from multi-investors to buy a diversified mix of securities. So with this, they open accounts where the customers' monies are collected and placed into diversified securities. That is, they can put it in treasury bills, treasury bonds, shares, and other securities. The next slide, please. Recommended solution. Rebuild trust through transparency and accountability by holding meetings with students and parents. Develop a fund recovery plan and share with stakeholders. Educate on investment basics and red flags identification. Choose a safer investment option for the remaining fund. Next slide, please. 1. Implementation plan. 1. Mr. Badu should openly address what happened to the scheme. So Mr. Badu should not be shy of openly telling the public about what this scheme has done to him. 2. Outline a plan to recover the remaining fund. Mr. Badu should make sure that he selects and goes on with the right investment security that will help him regain his remaining fund. 3. Mr. Badu should partner with a local bank to conduct workshops. So Mr. Badu should partner with banks or other people with financial literacy so that they can advise him and teach him about the financial market. 4. Mr. Badu should invest a safer and more conservative investment. So Mr. Badu can invest in fixed deposit, treasury bills, and other stuff. The next slide, please. Risk management. Diversify investment across low risk management. So Mr. Badu can, as I said, he can invest in different types of securities, such as the treasury bill, the treasury bond, and the shares. So Mr. Badu can diversify investment across low risk assets, where he invests in different types of securities. Even when one gets lost, he can gain the interest on the other. 2. Conduct regular financial reviews. So Mr. Badu can seek for information where he's going to invest. So you have to seek for information and know the background of the company and also where they get their fund from. 3. Educate.
I believe it's time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation. Okay, we are listening to the last presentation from St. Augustine's.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. So for this afternoon or morning, let me say, we are presented with yet a very serious issue, a unique one, and very, very interesting. So this is the case of one man who goes by the name Mr. Bedu. So basically, Mr. Bedu is a high school teacher in some parts of Takoradi. And this is the problem. His students contributed a whopping amount of 25,000 Ghana cedi to him that said, please keep this money for us, that after graduation, we will use it to start an entrepreneurial business. But Mr. Bedu, with the intention to probably triple or double or quadruple the money, sent it into a high return investment, not knowing it was a Ponzi scheme. You might be wondering, what's a Ponzi scheme? So basically, a Ponzi scheme is an investment scam. Basically, it's a scam. And with this scam, it promises investors of very high returns, but then it uses the funds of new investors to pay old investors. So with that one, it's just your money just circulating in the whole system. That's basically a Ponzi scheme. And with notable or prominent among them is the famous men's gold scam. This is a typical example of a Ponzi scheme. We have DKM, Loom, Park Miner, and what have you. So thinking about all this has given Mr. Bedu a whole lot of problems. So he's here to ask for advice. So looking at the problem identification, he faces two key problems. One, he has lost the funds that the students give to him. And also, the reputation, the trust, and the kind of confidence that the students have in him. He has lost everything. So he has come to us, I, Samuel Glover, and my team members to help him to find solutions to all these problems. So taking on the market analysis. So Ponzi schemes, basically, they are low-risk investment with very high returns. So they will tell you, just bring 100 CDs, in 2 to 3 days, you are going to get 5,000 or probably 500 CDs. That's an exaggeration, though. So it tells you that they're going to give you very high returns at very low risk. And Ponzi schemes are illegal. They are illegal. Point blank, they are illegal because there is no form of regulation that regulates their activities. They operate in a gray area where regulations are minimal. And also, Ponzi schemes lead to a loss of trust in the financial system. So taking on the men's good, for instance, it has led to a loss of confidence by investors. Most investors now do not want to trust in the Ghanaian financial system, all because of the men's good scam. So this is one of the negative effects of a Ponzi scheme. So when you look behind me, there's a diagram, and I'm going to explain this diagram. So in the diagram, you see a man in a mask. So he basically is called a con artist. A con artist, C-O-N, con artist. And what he does is that he's the initiator of the Ponzi scheme. So he starts with an amount. Then new or fresh investors will come. Then he waits for new and additional investors to come. And with the funds that these investors bring, he will give it to the investors before them. But then what he does is that he pockets some of the money. So if you look at the image, you see he has a jacket with some of the money inside. He pockets some of the money and leaves some behind. So that's basically how a Ponzi scheme runs. So with this, we shall be moving to the financial analysis so that you just know how the financial analysis of the whole situation is.
Okay, so with the financial analysis, we discovered that there was a loss of fund. That is the specified amount of 25,000, which was contributed from the student to Mr. Bedu, was unknowingly invested into a Ponzi scheme, which led to the loss of trust as the major problem now. Also, there was the need to increase moderate funds. Now, since the goals of the students were to pursue their entrepreneurial dreams, which is a long-term goal. Now, with long-term goals, we need a reasonable level of growth in profit in order to meet these goals, in order to reduce the risk involved. So, with Ponzi schemes and other high-yield investments, the risk associated to it is very high, as compared to low-risk investment alternatives such as mutual funds and fixed deposits, which are more safer and consistent. So, from our financial analysis, the regulatory oversight is critical for stability of investment. Thank you. So moving on to the alternative solutions available to Mr. Bedu.
So from what my team members have said so far, we discovered two alternative solutions that might help Mr. Bedu on his issue. So the first of which is that he should use a diversified mutual fund. And if you ask what a mutual fund is where they combine multiple investors and spread it among multiple assets, such as stocks and bonds. The advantage is that the returns they might generate will be moderate. It will be decent enough to rebuild the fund. And also, the diversified asset classes will reduce some form of risk. Though it can reduce some form of risk, there is something called market fluctuations, which might affect the returns and could lead to potential losses. Another thing that makes this solution tiresome is that there's a payment of fees, because in using a mutual fund, someone is going to do it for you. So you have to pay fees to the person. The second solution we've discovered is that he should use a fixed deposit account. So first, what he should do, so if you use a fixed deposit account, it's like a savings account, you put your money inside and you get it back at a fixed interest rate at a specified period. So here, the risk associated is very low compared to that of mutual funds. Also because the returns you get is guaranteed. The bank will guarantee that, yes, you get your money at a higher interest rate, but not that high. So that's what is the problem of this solution, because the returns you get are not that high. It's low compared to that of mutual funds. Also, the inflexible nature of this solution, the fixed deposit account, makes it tiresome, because what if Mr. Bedu and the students need the money, but they say because it has not reached that period, they will not have access to it? So from these two alternative solutions, we recommend that Mr. Bedu use a combination of the diversified mutual fund and the fixed deposit account. Some people will be asking, like, why these two? Why not just use one? Because this can create a balance, normally, of low risk and moderate growth of returns. How does this affect Mr. Bedu? Because not only does it reduce risk, it will help rebuild his funds. At the same time, the students' confidence in their entrepreneurial dreams will increase since they will know about safer investment options, and it will end up promoting his credibility, so that is his reputation once again. But how do we implement this solution? So what he should do first is engage in a thorough financial research, because he can't just say he'll just go to this bank and then put the money there. What if he fails? So you have to do research on the perfect bank or the perfect company to do the fixed deposit account and the mutual fund. After which you open the fixed deposit account with half of the remaining funds that is going to put it inside in order to achieve guaranteed returns. He can do this through maybe banks such as you all know, Cow Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and EcoBank. And also, he can also invest the remaining in the mutual fund in maybe a company like GCB Equity Shares or EcoBank Equity Fund in order to generate moderate returns. After which, you should monitor what goes on in those two institutions in order to check, and also educate the students in how to make progress. But there are risks associated with this solution, one of which is market risk. The fluctuations in the market can affect the returns, in fact lead to a possible loss. So one way to solve this is diversification, though this will not fully eliminate the risk, but it will help reduce it since it will be mixed with other asset classes. For a fixed deposit account, is mostly affected by credit risk, because there might be an instance where the bank could default. And so how will we stop this? So the way of mitigating it is the bank deposit insurance. I'm sure you're asking what that is. So it's basically like an insurance policy, but with the amount of money they placed in the fixed deposit account. So if the bank defaults, the insurance company will pay you your money back. It's mostly famous in the commercial banks and other institutions. So to conclude,
so with these proposed solutions to Mr. Bedu, we hope that he's able to adopt these strategies and reclaim his reputation, and so able to regain the funds that he has lost. But then we would like to advise you all that you take his steps and take financial research when you are going into investment, so that you not fall victim to these Ponzi schemes, because they can really lead to some detrimental results. So we advise you to take your time and invest in well-researched investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. We've learned a lot from your presentation. Let's clap for them. They've done very well. As we await our scores, some general observations. Now, I keep saying that we should keep training our high school students on presentation skills. And so, as part of our curriculum, we should add presentation skills. Clubs should learn how to teach their members on how to present. The use of caps on presentation slides, reading points from the presentation slide, facing the opposite side of the audience, and all of these things should be addressed so that our high school students can also be at par with high school students from other universities across the world. Thank you very much for that insightful presentation. We await our scores. Now we head into round. Okay, some schools want to effect a substitution. Let's clap for them as they come. Please hurry up and join us on stage. Gentlemen, you are welcome. Please introduce yourself. Speak.
I am Beble Richmond Elom.
Richmond, you are welcome. Are you an SU president? No. Okay. Right, we head into round 4. Now in this round, we'll be giving contestants some statements. They are to listen attentively to the statement and tell me whether it is true or false. If your answer is correct, you get 2 points. 2. And if you get your main question wrong, you serve a penalty of -1. If a school fails to answer, it passes on as a bonus, to which the schools can rank for, if I declare it as a bonus. Okay? So we are heading into this round. Are we ready? Okay. Persec. 2 goods can have positive cross elasticity in the short term, but negative cross elasticity in the long term. True or false?
True.
True is correct for 2 points. Sorry, 2 points. Please speak into the microphone. Right. Wesley Grammar. A monopolist that sells its product in 2 different markets, where demand elasticity differs, will maximize profits by charging the same prices in both markets. True or false? That is not correct. Speak into the microphone. Don't fault me if I don't hear it correctly. St. Hewart's. In an oligopoly market, if all firms have equal market share, they are less likely to engage in price competition than if shares are uneven. True or false?
False.
No, that's true. Clap for them, clap for them, clap for them. Give them vim, give them vim. St. Augustine's. A demand curve can be perfectly inelastic for some price ranges and elastic for others. True or false?
True.
That is true. And that is true for 2 points. Presec. A bank makes a loan of 10,000 cedis at 5% interest rate. If interest rate suddenly rises to 8%, this will increase the cost of the existing loan. True or false?
False.
That is correct. Wesley Grammar. If bond prices are falling and people are selling bonds to get more money, this indicates that current interest rates are above equilibrium. True or false?
False.
False is correct for 2 points. St. Hubert's. When the central bank increases interest rate to fight inflation, it necessarily creates a conflict between its inflation and unemployment objectives. True or false?
True.
True is correct for 2 points. St. Augustine's. If a currency appreciates following an interest rate increase, this will always improve a country's trade position. True or false?
True.
No, that is false. Presec. A liquidator who has the powers of a director is legally considered to be a director of the company during liquidation. True or false?
True.
False. Wesley Grammar. Wesley Grammar, listen to me, okay? Listen to me. When directors declare the company solvent through an affidavit, this guarantees prevents the liquidator from later determining the company may be unable to pay its debt. True or false?
False.
False is correct for 2 points. St. Hubert's. A secured creditor needs court permission to take actions against a company during liquidation. True or false?
True.
False. St. Augustine's. If a company settles all debts with one creditor just before liquidation, this transaction is automatically void. True or false?
True.
False. Next round of questions. Presec, according to the Companies Act, a person who has worked as a trainee company secretary for 2 years is qualified to be appointed as a company secretary. True or false?
False.
That is correct. Wesley Grammar, a company's auditor is considered an officer of the company due to his fiduciary relationship with the company. True or false? False. Oh, clap for her. Don't do that. St. Hubert's, under the Companies Act, shares are classified as immovable properties since they represent ownership in a company's assets. True or false?
False. False.
That is correct for 2 points. St. Augustine's, a debenture holder can attend and vote at general meetings if this right is explicitly provided for in the company's constitution. True or false?
True.
No, that is false. Last set of questions for this round. Presec, if unemployment is falling and GDP is rising, the economy must be in an expansion phase. True or false?
True.
No, that is false. Wesley Grammar, a bear market in stocks necessarily indicates that the economy is in a contraction phase. I'm taking it again. A bear market in stocks necessarily indicates that the economy is in a contractionary phase. True or false?
True.
False. St. Hubert's, during a period of irrational exuberance, the economy is at its healthiest since GDP growth is high. True or false?
True.
False. St. Augustine's, if property values and customer debt are both rising, there must be in a contradiction in economic indicators. True or false?
True.
No, that is false. And false brings us to the end of round 4. Now the scores at the end of round 3. The scores at the end of round 3. At the end of round 3, Wesley Grammar, in the order in which I've received it, Wesley Grammar has 31.25. 31.25. St. Hubert has 38 points. Presec 39.25. St. Augustine's 42.75. You can see it displayed there. Some schools want to effect a substitution. Let's clap for the outgoing and incoming contestants. Hurry up and join us on stage. As you take your seats, please introduce yourselves. Starting from Wesley Grammar.
Naughty Isaac.
Isaac, you're welcome. And we have
John also are there.
You're also welcome. Now we are entering the riddles segment as we await our scores for round 4. I also declare the scores for the individual presentations also in a very short while. Okay, now in the last and final round, you'll be given 4 riddles. Each riddle will have 5 clues. If you answer correctly on the first clue, you get 5 points. Correctly on the second clue, you get 4 points. If you answer it correctly on the third or any other clue, you get 3 points. If you ring your bell and you give a wrong answer, you are exempted from participating in that particular riddle. And I'll read the rest of the clues where applicable to the other schools. Are we clear on the rules? If you are clear, let's take the first riddle. 1. I am a theory propounded by Edward Freeman in the 1980s. 2. I propose that businesses have obligations not only to shareholders but St. Augustine's.
Stakeholder theory.
Stakeholder theory is correct for 4 points. Let's take the second one. 1. I was commissioned in the UK by the UK government to review the role of non-executive directors. Relax. Augustine's.
The Higgs report.
The
Higgs report.
The Higgs report is correct for 5 points. If you ring it, okay. Augustus, it's okay. Why? It's okay. Okay. The third one. I am a term used in both accounting and finance. I am issued to shareholders based on the number of shares they currently own. Prosec.
Bonus issue.
Bonus issue is correct for 5 points. 4 points. The last riddle for the contest. The last riddle. This ends the contest. I am a contract that derive my value from the performance of an
derivatives.
Mafro. Presec.
Derivatives.
That is not correct. Let me continue. I can take many forms, including stocks, bonds, commodities, currencies, interest rates, or market indexes. 3. My types include forward, futures, options, swaps. Wesley Grammar.
Securities.
Hey, who is that? That is not correct. St. Augustine's.
Future contract.
That is also not correct. St. Hubert's. Let's go. You and the two of us. I am often used by companies to hedge against various types of risks, including market risks, interest rate risks, and currency risks. Last clue. I played a significant role in the 2008 financial crisis, particularly through complex derivatives like the collateralized debt obligation. Who am I? Presec, would you like to change your answer? Okay, so the correct answer is financial instruments. Financial instruments. And that brings us to the end of the contest. Clap for me, I've also done well. Now, at the end of round 4, these are the scores. At the end of round 4, these are the scores. Wesley Grammar, 32.25. St. Hubert's, 39. Presec, 43.25. St. Augustine's, 40.75. Right. So we await the scores for the last round. St. Augustine's, how did you see the contest?
It was good. It was good.
You both should talk plenty. I'm feeling bad. St. Hubert's, how was the contest?
It was cool.
Let me change the question. Wesley Grammar, how will you feel if this is the last time you are? What have you learned from this contest? If this is the last time you are being on stage with us, what should you learn? What is the major thing you've learned from this contest today?
What do you have to say? Say something. You don't have anything to say.
Competing with two giant schools is quite something. So we've tried our best and we'll come back stronger.
Okay. You've definitely tried your best. Presec, you are still heated. Should we go for another round? At the end of round 5, these are your scores. Wesley Grammar, 32.25. St. Hubert Seminary, 39. Presec Legon, 47.25. St. Augustine's, 48.75. So by this result, St. Augustine's College and Presec Legon qualify for the next round of contest. They qualify to the next round of contest. Let's clap for them. They've done very well. St. Hubert's and Wesley Grammar, we'll see you probably next year in the regionals. We hope you go and prepare and come back stronger. You did very well, and under other circumstances, you may have qualified. And so don't give up hope. Go and prepare and come back stronger. Thank you very much, my studio audience. Thank you very much, online audience. There will be a presentation for the winning school. And so coaches and reps from Augustine's College should join us on stage as we make our presentation. This is the end of the first quarterfinals contest. We await for the second one between other 4 strong schools. Thank you very much. I'm signing off.
With 45.5 points and making it to the next round of the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 is St. John's School Second D. The Saints.
The best.
The Saints.
The best.
How was the feeling upstage? How did you see the competition?
For me though, I was feeling nervous, but it took the interception of God to keep my heart down. And as I said on stage, the battle is the Lord. The battle is still the Lord. The battle was the Lord, and the battle shall always be the Lord. The Saints.
The best.
Was there any school at any point in time a threat to you on stage?
Like we are the best, so why should any school be a threat? Why?
Which parts or which round did you see it a bit challenging for you and your colleagues?
Round 3, that's the presentation. Like we're explaining. Like we need to work on that and come back stronger next time.
What should we expect from you guys in your next contest?
Expect more from us because the fire we are bringing is too hot for them to handle.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. The Saints.
The best.
The Saints.
The best.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And see you in your next. The contest with 64 points and qualifying to the next round of the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 is St. Augustine's College. Absu.
Action.
Absu.
Action.
How was the feeling on stage? How was the competition for you?
The competition wasn't that tough because it was the early stages, but then by the grace of the Lord we were able to pull through. But then we know that more contests are more difficult contests are ahead, so we'll prepare more and better ourselves off. Thank you.
Which of the rounds did you find it more challenging for you guys?
For me, I'll say the third round. The presentation, it felt a bit tense.
Why? What happened?
It just felt like sometimes you present but it feels like you're fumbling and you wouldn't want to make a mistake, but for God's favor push through.
Which school did you see as a competition? Which school?
The school we're afraid of was St. Mary's Boys because they were the Western Regional Champions, so we were quite afraid of them. By the grace of God, we were able to control.
So what should we expect from St. Augustine's College in the subsequent contest?
Nothing but the best.
All right, thank you so much, guys, and I wish you all the best. Making it to the next round of the competition of the National Investment Quiz 2024 is Accra Girls Senior High School. Agiz! Agiz! Agiz!
Ladies Division and Virtue.
All right, how is the feeling like?
Very awesome.
How did you see the competition on stage? How was it up there?
It was actually tough, but oh my God, we made it.
Which part or which round of the competition did you say tougher for you guys?
I would say the advisory part, since we couldn't project, and the riddles. It was data skills were quick.
Emerging as the winners for the second contest of the day for the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 are no other than Adontin Senior High School from the Eastern Region. Brighten the Kana. Where you are. Indeed, you really bright the Kana. How are you feeling after emerging as winners?
So I kept my trust in God, and He has shown me that if I put my trust in, He's going to do everything for me. So I just thank God for what He has done for us this day.
I also want to find out from you how the feeling is.
It's so nice, and we thank God for everything. You know, we wouldn't have come this far without God's strength. God has done it. He has actually planned it ahead of us. He said He'll give us a happy ending, and I think this is one of it. So we thank God for everything.
You've qualified to the next round of the contest. What should we expect from Adon School?
In God we trust, so nothing but the best. Yes, writing our Kana too.
All right. What are you telling the other students who will be competing in the next contest?
The battle is still with the Lord.
Thank you so much, guys. As the winners of the National Investment Quiz 2024 at the end of the first contest is Wesley Girls High School. My girls, how are you feeling after the victory? How is it?
We are very happy. We are very, very happy.
What about you? What are you saying?
I was very awesome.
Which parts of the rounds or which one did you see it very tough and difficult for you?
Honestly, it was round 2, but we did our best by the grace of God.
You've qualified for the next round. What should we expect?
We still expect that the best school will win. We will still do our best to win.
What are you telling the next people that you're meeting in the next round, the next schools? What are you telling them?
May the best school win.
All right, thank you so much, girls, and I hope you win your next contest too. Making it to the next round of the competition of the National Investment Quiz 2024 is Accra Girls Senior High School. Agiz! Agiz! Agiz!
Ladies Division and Virtue.
All right, how is the feeling like?
Very awesome.
How did you see the competition on stage? How was it up there?
It was actually tough, but oh my God, we made it.
Which part or which round of the competition did you say tougher for you guys?
I would say the advisory part, since we couldn't project, and the riddles. It was data skills were quick.
With 45.5 points and making it to the next round of the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 is St. John's School 2nd D. The Saints.
The best.
The Saints.
The best.
How was the feeling upstage? How did you see the competition?
For me though, I was feeling nervous, but it took the interception of God to keep my heart down. And as I said on stage, the battle is the Lord. The battle is still the Lord. The battle was the Lord, and the battle shall always be the Lord. The Saints.
The best.
Was there any school at any point in time a threat to you on stage?
Nah, like we are the best, so why should any school be our threat? Why? Nah.
Which parts or which round did you see it a bit challenging for you and your colleagues?
Round 3, that's the presentation. Like we're explaining. Like we need to work on that and come back stronger next time.
What should we expect from you guys in your next contest?
Expect more from us because the fire we are bringing is too hot for them to handle.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. The Saints. The Saints. All right. Thank you so much. To the next round of the competition of the National Investment Quest 2024 is Accra Girls Senior High School. Agiz,
Ladies Division and Betty.
All right, how is the feeling like?
Very awesome.
How did you see the competition on stage? How was it up there?
It was actually tough, but oh my God, we made it.
Which part or which round of the competition did you see it so far for you guys?
I would say the advisory part, since we couldn't project, and the riddles, it was the other skills were quick.
Emerging as the winners for the second contest of the day for the National Investment Quest Competition 2024 are no other than Adontin Senior High School from the Eastern Region. Brighten the Kana.
Where you are.
Indeed, you really bright the Kana. How are you feeling after emerging as winners?
So I kept my trust in God, and He has shown me that if I put my trust in, He's going to do everything for me. So I just thank God for what He has done for us this day.
I also want to find out from you how the feeling is.
It's so nice, and we thank God for everything. You know, we wouldn't have come this far without God's strength. God has done it. He has actually planned it ahead of us. He said He will give us a happy ending, and I think this is one of it. So we thank God for everything.
You've qualified to the next round of the contest. What should we expect from Adon School?
In God we trust, so nothing but the best. Yes, right in our Canada too.
All right. What are you telling the other students you will be competing in the next contest?
The battle is still with the Lord.
Thank you so much, guys, and I wish you the best in your the next contest as well, right? Brighten the corner.
Where you are.
We are ready for this contest. You know, we are around here, and every contest, every battle, we get ready before we get inside.
With extra improvement or training that we have done today, they should watch out because the diamonds are coming.
I mean, with God by our side, anything is possible, so we'll see.
Imagine this, you expanding your business and all of a sudden it comes crumbling down because you didn't have knowledge of how to expand your business in the right way. This is a problem Amanda is facing.
We can see that as the business expands and expands more, Amanda will employ more. So who knows that maybe the one sitting next to you will be the one that Amanda will employ.
You are all Amandas today. Whether you were born a man or a woman, today you are all Amanda. We are going to be presenting our business plan. Amanda is considering 4 key things.
The journey to victory begins and it promises to be unforgettable. Welcome to National Investments Quiz Competition 2024 Prelims Day 1, and you are watching it on Ghana's official high school TV channel, High School Plug TV. Who will rise? Who will surprise? And who will shine the brightest? Well, let's find out.
Commercial paper is an unsecured debt instrument, usually with a maturity less than 1 year.
That is correct for 3 points. Let's go. I describe a market structure.
The capital structure.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is not correct. I describe a market structure dominated by a small number of large firms. Wesley Girls.
Oligopoly.
Oligopoly! That is correct. Wesley Girls High School had 49 points, and I have the privilege to declare Wesley Girls High School per the scores as the winner of this particular contest. Thank you very much, audience. Thank you, our contesting schools, for your attention. My name is Dr. Paula Piakunedu, and I have been your quiz master for this particular session. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
My girls, how are you feeling after the victory? How is it?
We are very happy. We are very, very happy.
You've qualified for the next round. What should we expect?
So we still expect that the best school will win. We will still do our best to win.
Topping the contest with 64 points and qualifying to the next round of the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 is St. Augustine's College. Absu!
Action.
Absu!
Action.
How was the feeling on stage? How was the competition for you?
The competition wasn't that tough because it was the early stages, but then by the grace of the Lord we were able to pull through. But then we know that more contests are more difficult contests are ahead, so we prepare more and better ourselves off. Thank you.
Which of the rounds did you find it more challenging for you guys?
For me, I'll say the third round. The presentation, it felt a bit tense.
Why? What happened?
It just felt like sometimes you present but it feels like you're fumbling and you wouldn't want to make a mistake, but for God's favor push through.
Which school did you see as a competition? Which school?
The school we're afraid of was St. Mary's Boys because they were the Western Regional Champions, so we were quite afraid of them, but by the grace of God we were able to fulfill.
So what should we expect from St. Augustine's College in the subsequent contest?
Nothing but the best.
All right, thank you so much, guys, and I wish you all the best. making it to the next round of the competition of the National Investment Quest 2024 is Accra Girls Senior High School. Agiz! Agiz! Agiz!
Ladies division and Betty.
All right, how is the feeling like?
Very awesome.
How did you see the competition on stage? How was it up there?
It was actually tough, but oh my God, we made it.
Which part or which round of the competition did you say tougher for you guys?
I would say the advisory part, since we couldn't project, and the riddles. It was the other skills were quick.
Emerging as the winners for the second contest of the day for the National Investment Quiz Competition 2024 are no other than Adontin Senior High School from the Eastern Region. Brighten the Kana.
Where you are.
Indeed, you really bright the Kana. How are you feeling after emerging as winners?
So I kept my trust in God, and He has shown me that if I put my trust in, He's going to do everything for me. So I just thank God for what He has done for us this day.
I also want to find out from you how the feeling is.
It's so nice, and we thank God for everything. You know, we wouldn't have come this far without God's strength. God has done it. He has actually planned it ahead of us. He said He'll give us a happy ending, and I think this is one of it. So we thank God for everything.
You've qualified to the next round of the contest. What should we expect from Adon School?
In God we trust, so nothing but the best. Yes, writing our Kana too.
All right. What are you telling the other students who will be competing in the next contest?
The battle is still with the Lord.
Thank you so much, guys, and I wish you the best in your the next contest as well, right? Brighten the Kana.
Where you are.
We are ready for this contest. You know, we are runs here, and every contest, every battle, we get ready before we get inside.
With extra improvement or training that we have done today, they should watch out because the diamonds are coming.
I mean, with God by our side, anything is possible, so we'll see.
Imagine this, you expanding your business and all of a sudden it comes crumbling down because you didn't have knowledge of how to expand your business in the right way. This is a problem Amanda is facing.
We can see that as the business expands and expands more, Amanda will employ more. So who knows that maybe the one sitting next to you.
Accra Girls Secondary School, thou my pride, my greatest pride, thou which thou expect of me, I'll do it with my might. In all aspect of school life, I shall try to do my best. A shining example I must be to my friends. In all aspect of school life, I shall try to do my best. A shining example I must be to my friends.
Thank you very much. I'll move on to Kumasi High School.
Mbrante.
Action.
Mbrante.
Action.
Mbrante.
Action.
Arise, squeeze, and shout for joy. Ready? Go.
Arise, schoolies, and shout for joy. The Lord of hosts, thy strength and stay. When in distress, to him we call. He hears our sad and pleading cry. For service can ye gonna have, when dead by sons of who his land. Our hearts, our brain and strength, in true devotion we shall prove. Emrantier, we hold on high with zeal, determination. Our vision is to conquer and never be conquered. Emrantier, we hold on high with zeal, determination. Our vision is to conquer and never be conquered. Arise, schoolies, and shout for joy.
Thank you very much. Next to the school with the red flag, the Anthems School. You said you have a red flag. Can you bring your flag?
For all the saints who from their labors rest, who did by faith before the world confessed, thy name, O Jesus, to be forever blessed. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you very much. At this juncture, I'll leave on to the quiz master. Sir, please, over to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to the second quarterfinal contest for today. The first quarterfinal contest was won by St. Augustine's College, and the second school was Presec Legon. So those two schools are the first two schools to qualify for the semi-final contest. Now we have a contest between two very strong schools, two from Accra, one from Kumasi, and one from Infantimaimu. Now we want to find out, will it be Accra, will it be Kumasi, or will it be the central region? Will it be Accra, will it be Accra Girls, will it be Kumasi High School, or Infantipim School? We are yet to find out. By the end of round 5, we will know which school or which of the two schools will be the next to qualify for the semi-final round. Contestants, you are welcome on stage. I'd like you to introduce yourself to me, starting from Infantipim School. Infantipim, who do you have representing you?
Okay, the name is Kevin. I'm
Nathaniel Foria Champion.
Please speak into the microphone.
Nathaniel Foria Champion.
Okay, gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Kumasi High School.
Sapon Solomon.
Okay.
Owusu and Sakofiapia.
Speak boldly into the microphone.
Owusu and Sakofiapia.
Good. Accra Girls.
Nana Jessie Lisa.
Okay.
Sandra Koko Blukutei.
You're welcome, ladies. Accra.
Benjamin Naughty.
Benjamin.
Eso Benjamin Jr.
Benjamin Square. You are also very much welcome. Now this contest has 5 rounds. 5 rounds. Each round has its distinct rules. So for round 1, you'll be given 4 major questions. No, 5. 5 major questions. You have to provide answers to these questions. These questions are testing basic concepts. If you get your question correctly, you score 3 points. If you answer a question wrongly, you score no points. If a school gets it wrong, I may declare it as a bonus to the other schools. When I declare it as a bonus, you wait you ring and wait to be called upon to give your answer. If it is correct, you score +1. If you get it wrong, you score -1. May the best score come up on top. Round 1. Akraka. Now this is a general preamble for all schools. Now vitiation factors are acts that impair or void the effect of a contract. There are several forms of vitiation factors. So each school is to give me one vitiation factor and explain it. We are starting from Akraka.
Breach of condition. Condition is the main term that goes into a contract. So if a counterparty or one of the party into a contract breach the condition, it can be rendered the contract void, because the condition is the main term that's being considered by the parties into the contract.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Accra girls.
Misrepresentation. Okay, so misrepresentation occurs when one party to a contract
Misrepresentation occurs when one party to a contract makes false statements in order to induce the other party to enter into the contract. Examples, some types of misrepresentation are fraudulent misrepresentation, innocent.
That is correct for 3 points. Kumasi High.
Mistake. So, mistake are laws. Mistake are errors that are committed between a party that weakens the validity of a contract between two parties, the parties involved.
Define it again.
Mistakes are errors that weakens the validity of a contract between the two parties involved.
Okay, that is correct for 3 points. In front of him.
And so the term is public policy.
Turn it on.
The term is public policy. So when the terms of a contract are against the laws of society, such as promotion of a crime like fraud.
That is correct for 3 points. Can you hear me when I speak?
We can.
I want to hear you when you speak.
Thank you.
Next set of questions. Now, this is a general preamble to all schools. You have to define the following terms and their capacity to enter into a contract and the legal position in the contract. Define them, tell me their capacity to enter into a contract and the legal position in the contract. Akraka, enemy alien. You've been bailed out. Bonus. I see 2. Accra girls.
An alien is someone who is not a member of a country but an outsider.
For a bonus, I'm not accepting that. No school rank. Okay, we move on. Accra. Hey, sorry. Accra girls. A minor.
So
hey, Emrantie.
So a minor is someone who is not legally of age, who is not of age or is not supposed to enter into a contract under legal terms. A minor is someone who is not of age or does not meet the required age to enter into a contract legally.
Are you done?
Yes.
1 out of 3. Kumasi High. Corporate bodies.
Corporate bodies are institutions that are not allowed to enter into a contract between a party.
I'm not accepting that. Bonus. I'll explain later. Infantry Pim School. Government. Government.
Government refers to the rules that guide a corporation. Yes. So the legal position of the government is to ensure that all stakeholders and shareholders are in line with the constitution of the corporate body.
I'm not accepting that. Bonus. Clap for them. So yours was a minor. I say you define a minor. You tell me the legal position in the contract and the role they play in the contract, okay? Or the types of contract they can enter into. You defined it, but that's why I asked you, are you done? And you said yes, you are done. Corporate bodies are bodies. Yes, they are institutions, and they can legally enter into a contract because they are legal persons, okay? You said they are institutions, all right, but they cannot enter into contract. Government can enter into contract based on terms outlined in the constitution. So government, you can define a government and you tell me that yours was an enemy alien. An enemy alien is a national of another country that we or this country is at war with. So if Ghana is at war with Togo, Togolese become enemy aliens of Ghana, and we cannot enter into contracts with enemy aliens. That was what I was expecting from Accra Academy. Thank you. Next set of questions. Now, there are 4 basic types of market structures in any economy. So each school is to give me one basic type of market structure, and give me the market of a product that exemplifies this market. You give me one of that market structure and give me one example of a product that exemplifies this market. If we get the preamble, Akraka, yours is a perfect competition.
A perfect competition market. It's a type of market where there are many buyers and sellers, and prices are fixed in this market, and there is free entry and exit into this market, and the prices are determined by the demand and supply of the commodities in this market. And normally the commodities traded in this market are identical in nature.
2 out of 3. Accra girls, monopolistic competition.
It's a type of market where there are many buyers and many buyers and sellers. Where there are many buyers and one seller.
Hey, do you have the marking scheme?
A monopolistic market is a market where
Please be checking the time for me.
Where there are many buyers, but then few sellers in the market.
I'm not accepting that. Bonus.
Monopolistic competition.
You didn't ring. Okay. Yours is oligopoly.
Oligopoly market comprises of smaller firms in a larger market that normally collaborate in an example include Airtel.
Come again. Speak like I'm speaking.
They are oligopoly market. They comprise of smaller market in a larger area that normally collaborate in their activities. An example is Airtel Tigo and etc.
Your example is correct. I'll give you 1 out of 3. But the definition for oligopoly, I'm not accepting it. In fact, the PIM school, yours is a monopoly.
So a monopoly is a market structure which has one seller and many buyers. It's characterized by restrictions to entry. Some examples are the ECG and the Ghana Water Company Limited.
That is correct for 3 points. So you have to define it and give me one example that exemplifies it, okay? So some of you defined it and others, your definitions were wrong and all that. Please speak into the microphone. Okay, let's test it. It seems some of you also are not.